So Claude Opus 4.8 just got released yesterday, and let's take a look at how you can use it to your own advantage. So if we go into the Anthropic page, you can see that Claude Opus 4.8 just got released, and now we can see the comparison. So as you can see, the Claude Opus 4.8 is better almost at all models. So if you take a look at these examples like Opus 4.7, if you take an example at GPT 4.5 and the Gemini 3.1 Pro, the agentic coding on Opus 4.8 is the best one. So let's just take a look at this. Claude Opus 4.8 beats everything. So it's the same price, thousands of sub-agents, and 4 times less hallucinations, and it's the most powerful AI model available right now. So it scores number 1 on all benchmarks, it has 4 times less hallucinations, and it actually has 3 times cheaper fast mode, and it can spot thousands of sub-agents. So, for example, if you're having a very hard task, you give a very hard prompt, the Claude Opus 4.8 will spawn agents accordingly how hard your task is. So if your whole prompt is to create an app, it will actually spawn a lot of agents and they will do separate tasks. And each of the sub-agents will be assigned to different tasks. So everything changes in Opus 4.8. It beats all the benchmarks, it destroys ChatGPT 5.5, and Google not even close. And it's the first model to reclaim the coding crown from ChatGPT. And it's the same cost as 4.7, so this is a strange thing that Anthropic did. The funny thing about it that the price actually stayed the same as Opus 4.7. And it's credited to the Elon Musk compute deal with the Anthropic. Next is the fast mode 3 times cheaper, so it's now actually affordable on the $200 per month plan. It has 4 times less hallucinations, so it matches the Mythos level accuracy claims. If you don't know what is Mythos, the cloud is actually pushing this news to the people that it's gonna be the best model out there, and it has really improved in coding. Next is the dynamic workflows. It spins up 10 to 1000 sub-agents for complex tasks, as I mentioned before, and months of work in one afternoon could be done with the new Claude Opus 4.8. And on $200 plan, you can get Ultra Code Mode, which gives Opus full autonomy to use dynamic workflows whenever it decides to. So it actually thinks on its own, and it assigns the agents where he thinks they need to be. Next is the dynamic workflows. So give Opus a big complex task and it now spins up thousands of sub-agents simultaneously, writing code, testing, doing regression tests, researching, and everything all at once. So if you take a look at this, you can see that if you give your prompt right here, so for example, let's just say build this feature, the Opus 4.8 has this dynamic workflow where it assigns tasks. So one agent is doing code writer, one agent is the tester, next is the researcher, for example, the next one is regression, and the last one is the app tester, and you get the same app results done in less time because everything is assigned to different agents. So how cool is actually that? Next is the dynamic workflows. So it's available on all plans, give Opus a complex task and automatically spends tens of thousands. And on the 200 months plan, you can get Ultra Code Mode, which gives Opus full autonomy to decide when to use dynamic workflows. So you just prompt normally, and Opus figures out if you need 5 agents or 5,000 agents. So it's full autopilot for complex builds. And to answer this question, is it actually Mythos? So Anthropic says Mythos cast models coming to all customers in coming weeks. So Opus 4.8 kinda matches several Mytho claims. So the claims that matches that it's 4 times less hallucinations, so it actually matches Mythos claims. Next is dynamic workflow, so it can spawn thousands of agents and in coming weeks from blog posts. So it actually could be like kind of a snippet of the Mythos model. And now let's take a look at the benchmark comparison. So how Opus 4.8 stacks up. If we take a look at all the different models, so Claude Opus 4.8, ChatGPT 5.5, Claude Opus 4.7, Gemini, and GPT 4.0. So, at coding, as you can see, the best model out there right now is the Claude Opus 4.8. At reasoning, it's also the best model, so it actually surpassed the ChatGPT 5.5, and now the Claude Opus 4.8 is the best model you can use for coding. Also, hallucination rate is very low, so we'll get a constant progress, and the speed is actually very fast. And the price, the best thing about it, it's the same as 4.7. They did not raise the price for this new model, which is actually very strange but very nice. Now moving on to the different models, as you can see, if you want, you can also use ChatGPT 5.5 And Claude Opus 4.7 is still working, but let's just now move on from the Gemini models and the older ChatGPT versions. So if you go on to the Cloud Code, you can actually go on browser version or you can go on to desktop version. As you can see, we can find this model right here, Opus 4.8. And when moving on to the effort, as you can see, it has different levels of effort. So I highly suggest you using only the high model because the low and medium will not just do the work. So on all tasks, just use the high model and always use the Opus 4.8 model because it's not worth it to use the other ones, just focus on that one. Also, if you have a really complex tasks, then you can turn on the extra or max modes. And of course, they're more token consuming, so if you plan to use the extra or max modes, I also highly suggest getting the 200 per month plan because you will just run out of credits very fast and you're not gonna complete any work. If you really enjoy learning about AI stuff and you really want to take things to the next level, I also highly suggest going to the link in this video description because I have the best AI community. It's just starting up, but be the first one on the list and you will learn a ton of new different things and it will also improve your workflow. So see you in the next video or inside my community.